Yeah. 12. Reminds me of 12 districts. Pan Am. Let the game begin, and may the odds forever be in your favor.
Ooh, feel like I should be jogging up to game show music. So before we get going, my daughter Abby is going to be handing out score sheets. So every team, there should be 12 teams. It looks like there's an empty one in the back. Should get a score sheet and a pen. If you don't have one, you'll need these because you can't get any points without the score sheet. And in keeping with Brother Skip's intro, I've tried to devise this so there's something for everyone in it. There are hard, studious Bible study questions in it, but there are also questions that depend on other skills that you may have, and hopefully everybody in your group. There will be questions that maybe only the oldest people in your group can answer, and others maybe the younger people in your group may be needed to answer. Some of them the studious, and some of them the more talkative of your group. But before we get going, there are rules. So just so for format, there are 10 rounds with 10 questions in each round. The one exception, there's actually 12 in the last round. They'll move very quickly. You'll need to think quickly. Speed counts. We're not going to wait for you or go back to questions. We'll do 3 rounds of questions. Then you'll exchange the sheets with another group, and we'll score the rounds. Then we'll hand them back. You'll need somebody, a runner for your group, to take them back. Nicholas in the back. Nicholas and Nicholas are our scorers. They will compile the results. Most importantly, this is a closed Bible, closed phone, closed tablet, closed computer show. The answers need to come from your brains. So, that being said, spelling should be close, but does not have to be perfect. But your answers need to be legible for the marking team to be able to read them. You're on your honor. I'm not going to be inspecting to make sure you didn't get your phone out. You're on your honor, but no external help. And be fair and reasonable when marking your opponent's score sheets. And finally, and most importantly, the quizmaster is always right. So, the format is I will give an example question to show you what the round is about, and then we'll quickly go through the 10 questions. So, round 1. The example does not count. Round number 1, which does not belong? So the example is, I have 4. Faith, hope, grace, and charity. Which one does not belong? Grace. Because we have faith, hope, and love. These 3 things abide. I have a reference there, and there are references, I believe, in the slides. So, here we go. You ready? Okay. Is everyone ready? Okay, here we go. Question 1. From Daniel 2. Silver, clay, stone, iron, and gold. Which one does not belong? You just can answer with the number. You can put the word if you want. Either is right, but the number or the word. Daniel 2, silver, clay, stone, iron, and gold. Which does not belong? Question 2 from Matthew 1. Ruth, Rebecca, Tamar, and Rahab. Which does not belong? Okay, question 3. From Exodus chapter 23, verses 14 through 16, we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of the Harvest, the Feast of Thanksgiving, and the Feast of Ingathering. Which one does not belong? All right, question 4. From Genesis chapter 14, we have Amraphel, the king of Shinar, Arioch, the king of Elasar, Kedorlaomer, the king of Elam, Tidal, the king of nations, and Abimelech, the king of Gerar. Which one does not belong? Question number 5 from Matthew chapter 10. Simon Peter, John, Philip, Barnabas, Bartholomew, and Lebbaeus. Which one does not belong? Question number 6 from Joshua chapter 10, verse 5. We have the king of Jerusalem, the king of Gath, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. Which one does not belong? All right, moving on to question number 7 from Proverbs chapter 16. Hands that shed innocent blood, a lying tongue, a proud look, feet that be swift to running to evil, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, and eyes that behold strange women. Which one does not belong? Okay, question 8. Matthew chapter 5. The poor in spirit, the meek, the righteous, the merciful, and the pure in heart. Which one does not belong? Question 9. Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 23. We have Sodom, Admah, Zoar, Gomorrah, and Zeboim. Which one does not belong? All right, lastly but not least, from Genesis chapter 25, verses 1 and 2, we have Kedar, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, and Shua. Which one does not belong? All right, that is the end of round 1. So hopefully you got the gist of it. Oh, hang on to your sheets. Hang on to your sheets for now. We're going to do 3 rounds. 3 rounds, and then we exchange sheets. Okay, round 2. And round 2 and 3 are brethren near and far. Round 2 is brethren near, which are brothers and sisters or people at GLCBS this year. I give you 3 pieces of information. The example is I was born in Illinois, I've lived in California, I now live in Ontario. I believe I am the only person here that those 3 things apply to. I believe so. Okay, so remember the answers are people at 2025 GLCBS. So those of you who have talked to people at lunch and dinner and found out about them, you are at an advantage. So, question 1. I was born in the Black Country. I once survived an avalanche, and I absolutely hate cheesecake. Who am I? Question number 2. I was born in Elkhart, Indiana. I have a child who is a GLCBS committee member, and I first attended GLCBS in 1971. Question number 3. My great-great-great-grandfather was Brother A.H. Zilmer. My grandfather is an Illini, and I was reader on Sunday evening. Okay, moving on to question number 4. I was not born in California, but I live there now. I am reportedly descended from a real-life privateer, and I went to kindergarten with Miriam Ruland, that being my daughter. Question number 5. I was born in Bellflower, California. I have 4 children, and I was an underwater welder. Okay. Question 6. I was born in Los Alamitos, California. I attend the same ecclesia as Brother Joel Ramirez, and I'm a host on Good Christadelphian Talks. Number 7. My son married a New Zealander. My daughter married an Aussie. And this is my first time at GLCBS. Number 8, I live in Arizona. Leslie Larson is my mom's cousin, and my hair color is not natural. All right. Moving on, number 9. I'm related to over 20 people at GLCBS this year. My grandfather performed the baptism of Brother Kurt Ruland, and I was born November 22nd, 2019. And last but not least, I met my spouse in 10th grade algebra class. My great-grandfather learned the truth while gold mining in Tasmania. I have a degree in history, but worked as a claim investigator. All righty. Moving on. Part 2, brethren near and far. So these are brothers and sisters who are not at GLCBS this year. So this spans a long time frame. First one, as an example, I was a Pharisee. I was from Tarsus, and I once made Antioch my home, would be our brother Paul, also known as Saul. Okay, moving on. Question 1. I was born in 1856. My middle name was Kerwin, and I was the second editor of the Christadelphian magazine. Question 2. I come from the land of Uz. I once owned 3,000 camels, and I had a daughter named Kezia. Question number 3. I am Jewish by birth, and I attended the University of California at Davis, and I'm the author of Legalism versus Faith. Question number 4. I was born in Alexandria. I learned the gospel from Aquila and Priscilla, and Paul said that he planted and I watered. Question number 5. I once lived in South Africa. My wife is attending GLCBS this year, and I am currently hiking the John Muir Trail. Question number 6. I am the son of Gira. I'm a left-handed man from the tribe of Benjamin, and I killed the king of Moab. Question number 7. I was on the original GLCBS committee. I was a member of the Chicago Ecclesia, and my wife was named Dixie. Question number 8. I am Ethiopian. I'm a eunuch. I helped save Jeremiah's life. Number 9. I make Michigan my home. I attended the University of Illinois, and I am the author of Bible and Science, Design versus Chance. And finally, I come from Joppa. I made coats and garments for others. And I had a noteworthy encounter with Peter. All right, time's up. So you take those 3 sheets and you exchange them with a group next to you to score them. So take your 3 sheets and make sure another group has them. Everybody should have another group's sheets. All right, if everyone has exchanged, no? And it doesn't matter, you can exchange 3 or 4 or 5 different ways, just as long as you don't have your own sheets. And we're going to quickly run through the answers, and hopefully you did all right. So round 1, which does not belong? Stone. Nebuchadnezzar's image. Stone was not part of the image, it destroyed the image. Question 2, these were the women in the line of Jesus mentioned in Matthew chapter 1.
There's another answer.
There are other women.
No, but Tamar starts with T and the others start with R.
That is not the answer the quizmaster is looking for. These are the women in the line of Christ mentioned in Matthew 1. Rebecca is not mentioned in Matthew 1. These are the names of the 3 feasts that the children of Israel were to go up to every year. And in Exodus 23, they are called the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of the Harvest, and the Feast of the Ingathering. Not the Feast of Thanksgiving. Genesis 14, this was the conglomeration of kings that came against the king of Sodom, and Abimelech, the king of Gerar, was not there. Adam encountered him later in a different, or not Adam, Abraham encountered him later in a different situation. This one was the list of the 12 apostles. I only gave you a few of them, but Barnabas is not in that list. So Barnabas is not listed in Matthew 10. Spelling doesn't matter, but Barnabas isn't in any versions. Question 6. This is the confederacy of kings that came against Joshua, and the king of Gath was not part of that confederacy. Proverbs chapter 6 are the 7 things that the Lord hates, and eyes that behold strange women are something that's mentioned later, but not in Proverbs chapter 6. So eyes that behold strange women does not belong. Question 8. These are the Beatitudes. Those that hunger and thirst for righteousness are included, but the righteous is not. Question 9. These were the cities of the plain. These are all the 5 cities of the plain, but if you remember, Lot pleaded that Zoar be spared, and Zoar was spared. So Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim were the 4 cities that were destroyed. And the last question, Genesis chapter 25. These are the children of Abraham's concubine Keturah, and Kedar is not one of them. So, all right, moving on to scoring brethren near and far. We'll go through these quickly. This first one was Brother Red Peel. Second was Sister Carolyn Carhart, and I hope that's accurate. Her son tells me it is. Third is Sister Lydia Pratt. Fourth is Megan Morgan. Fifth is James Ross Jr. I thought born in California would throw you all off. I will accept without the juniors. 6 is Chris Atwood. 7, Sister Yolanda Baldock. 8, Alora Zarnick. 9 was Boaz Hewitson. And 10 was Brother Glenn Anderson. So, brethren far. First one was Brother C.C. Walker. Second was Job. Third, Brother David Levin. Fourth, Apollos. Fifth, Brother Cam Beeler. 6 is Ehud. 7 was Brother Herbert Zilmer. Number 8 was Ebed Melech. Number 9 was Brother John Bolello. And the last one was Tabitha or Dorcas. All right. Okay, that's 3 rounds. We'll move on to the next 3 rounds. Please send your scored sheets, just those 3, back to Nicholas and Nicholas, and they will start tabulating answers. Just take them back. You don't have to hand them back to the groups that they belong to. Just take the score sheets back to the back table. All right. So if everyone can get back to their seats, the next round composes two different skills, your Bible knowledge and math. If you don't have, okay, you should have just given them the 3 sheets. All right. So example, if I say the number of the beast in the book of Revelation minus the number of books in the Bible, I end up with 666 minus 66, which gives me an answer of 600. All I want is the answer. You don't have to show your work. So, everyone got the concept? You're going to do Bible math. First question, the number of chapters in Matthew minus the number of chapters in Mark. Question 2, the length of the tabernacle divided by the width of the tabernacle.
Is it a cubit or feet?
Doesn't matter. If you divide it, it doesn't matter.
For math, we need a little bit more time. Is it the tabernacle building or the whole enclosure?
The tabernacle itself. Okay. All right. Question 3. The number of ecclesias that received letters in the book of Revelation times the number of wise virgins. Okay. The number of birds released by Noah after the flood minus the number of birds that returned to the ark. All right, this one should be easy after this week. The number of verses in Psalm 119 divided by the number of sons of Jesse. What's that? All right. Have to move on. The number of the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians, and we're not using the Norm Zilmer version, plus the number of synoptic gospels. Okay. The number, we've already been to Matthew 1 once, but the number of generations from Abraham to Jesus in Matthew 1 divided by the number of ribs in the mouth of the bear in Daniel 7. Question 8. The number of the provinces in the land of Persia in the book of Esther times the number of sons of Haman. Question 9. How many times hotter Nebuchadnezzar made the furnace before throwing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into it, minus the number of the lords of the Philistines? And last question. The number of stones on the high priest's breastplate plus the age at which Josiah started his reign. All right. That, I'm sure you are thankful, is the end of Bible math. So we are completely changing gears. Next round is our hymn vocabulary. Example. I will give a word from one of our hymns and suggestions on what it means, and you pick the right definition. For instance, in hymn 23, as pants the hart for cooling streams when heated in the chase. Is a hart a male deer or a stag? A blood-pumping muscle? The seat of feeling and emotion? Or a red fox? And the answer is number 1. A hart is a male deer or a stag. So, here we go. Sentient. His our warm and sentient frame, his our mind's exalted flame. Hymn number 107. Is sentient related to the skeleton? Does it mean burning? Does it mean able to perceive or feel things? Or does it mean temporary? Sentient. Number 2, affiance. His truth be thine affiance when faint and desolate. Hymn 14. Is affiance guide, a companion or friend, trust or confidence, or that which lifts and cheers? Affiance. Number 3, obdurate. The heart of the obdurate nation will bend. Hymn number 320. Is obdurate mean stubbornly persistent in wrongdoing, oppressed, ungrateful, or filled with pride? obdurate. Number 4, climb. In every climb through every land, proclaim the joyful word. Hymn 315. Is a climb a region or area? Is it the weather in a particular place, or else the climate? Does it mean to go upward with a steady progress? Or is it a missionary trip? Climb, what is climb? Number 5, ethereal. The spacious firmament on high with all the blue ethereal sky. Hymn 128. Is ethereal lasting a short time, fading? Brilliantly bright? Filled with clouds? Or relating to regions beyond the earth? Ethereal. Number 6, rill. On Jordan's long deserted plain by Kedron's lowly rill. Hymn 323. A small brook, a short valley, a native village, or a wind instrument or flute. What is a rill? Number 7, sere. The landscape droops in autumn's sere and spring flowers bloom to die. Hymn 393. Seer, is seer oppressive heat? One who practices divination? To be dried and withered? Or an unrelenting wind? What is seer? Number 8, succor. He comes with succor speedily to those who suffer wrong. Is a succor a lollipop? Is it aid, relief, and help? Is it vengeance? Or is it bountiful food? Succor. Number 9, panoply. And take to arm you for the fight the panoply of God. Is panoply strength and power? A full suit of armor? Its defining characteristics? Or an assembly of gods? Panoply. And one last one. Harbinger. Before him righteousness shall go, his royal harbinger. Is a harbinger a messenger? Is it one sent ahead to prepare a place? Is it a scepter? Or is it something that foreshadows a future change? Harbinger. All right. So before we move on, I'll ask in the back, do they have the scores tabulated? The scores are up there. So for the first 3 rounds, it looks like Judah has the lead by 2 over Joseph. All right. All right. We will move on to round number 6, which is random Bible knowledge. So I'll ask a question like, whose daughter did Jesus raise from the dead? And the answer is Jairus. Okay, you ready? Ready. Question 1. The name of Saul's son who briefly became king after Saul's death. Okay, question 2, who did not have a known encounter with a lion? David, Noah, Judah, Samson, and Adam. All right. Who said the following? Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Number 4, what was the name of Aaron's wife? Number 5, who said, sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof? Number 6, in what city was Paul stoned? Number 7, in what book would you find there is no peace for the wicked? Who was the disciple that replaced Judas Iscariot as one of the 12? Where did Cain settle? And last, the destruction of Nineveh was a fulfillment of whose prophecy? All right, time to exchange your sheets again. Just the 3 sheets that you just did. Trade them with another group and we will score our sheets. You can trade again. All right, has everyone traded sheets? Okay, we'll quickly go through the answers. First round Bible math. 28 minus 16 is 12. 12 is the answer, number of chapters in Matthew minus number of chapters in Mark. 30 cubits by 10 cubits was the tabernacle. 3 is the answer. If you did it in meters, you should have gotten 3 as well. feet, inches, centimeters, it shouldn't matter. Number of ecclesias with letters is 7 times the number of wise virgins is 5. 35 was the answer. Number of birds released, 4. The number that returned, 2. There was a raven and 3 doves. Look it up. The quizmaster is right. The birds were released 4 times. So, number of verses in Psalm 119 was 176. Number of sons of Jesse was 8. 22 was the answer. Fruit of the Spirit, there were 9. Synoptic Gospels are 3, so the answer is 12. The number of generations from Abraham to Jesus was 42. The number of ribs was 3. The answer is 14. The number of provinces in the land of Persia was 127. And there were 10 sons of Haman. The answer was 1,270. Nebuchadnezzar made the furnace 7 times hotter, and there were 5 lords of the Philistines, for an answer of 2. There were 12 stones on the high priest's breastplate, and Josiah was 8 when he became king. The answer is 20. Hymn vocabulary. Sentient is able to perceive or feel things. Affiance is trust and confidence. Obdurate is stubbornly persisting in wrongdoing, number 1. Clime is a climate, number 2. Ethereal is relating to regions beyond the earth, number 4. A rill is a brook, number 1. Sear is to be dried and withered, number 3. Succor is relief, aid, or help, number 2. Panoply is a full suit of armor, number 2. And a harbinger is something that foreshadows a future change. Okay, random Bible knowledge. Saul's son, Ishbosheth, also called Eshbaal. I'll accept either one. Judah did not have a known encounter with a lion. David killed a lion. Noah brought lions onto the ark. Samson killed a lion, and Adam named the lion. Abraham said, "Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?" Aaron's wife was Elisheba. Jesus said, "Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof," Matthew chapter 6. Paul was stoned at Lystra. In the book of Isaiah, you'll find there is no peace for the wicked. Matthias was the disciple that replaced Judas. Cain settled in the land of Nod. And last, Nahum was the prophecy that was fulfilled by the destruction of Nineveh. All right. Send your quiz sheets back to Nicholas and Nicholas. All right. Once all the runners are back, we'll go on. Round number 7 is a picture round. So I will show you a picture and ask a question. For instance, what is his name? His name is Manny. So if we're ready, who is responsible for the production of this book? That particular one in the picture. The printing, production. Number 2, what town is this picture taken in? Where would you find this cylinder recording the conquest of Babylon by Cyrus? Where am I? Which of these photos was not taken at Manuka?
Well, hang on a second. You mean like actual Manuka place?
At Manuka. Who am I? This prism, found in the British Museum, records the campaigns of what Assyrian ruler? Which one is Brother John Thomas? Nine, where am I? And you can get up and look at it closer if you can't see it well. Where am I? And again, where am I? All right, that's the end of the picture round. And next we're going to see how well you know your memory verses. But you don't have to know your memory verses, because I'm going to tell you the memory verse. You just have to tell me where it is found. So if I say, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, the answer would be Genesis 1 verse 1. All right. Question number 1. Do you have all the second round score sheets done?
Yes!
Judah's got a big lead. Levi and Joseph are in second and third. Oh, Nicholas. Quiet. Yeah, when you're done scoring your sheets, there's a total at the bottom, so it would be much easier for them to score if you add them up and put the number of correct at the bottom of the sheet when you're scoring the sheet. That will speed things up for them. All right, so memory verses. Number 1, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Number 2, the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Brother John showed us the equation for that earlier, but where is it found in the Bible? Number 3, now abideth faith, hope, charity, these 3, but the greatest of these is charity. Question 4, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as you have seen him go up into heaven. You have to get it right. No, you need the verse, chapter and verse.
Hey, Richard Morgan, you found $40 over here. Is this yours?
Question number 5. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Memory verse number 6. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. I want the original if it's quoted somewhere else. Number 7, and this is eternal life, that you might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. Number 8. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more reward or memory of them, and the memory of them is forgotten. Yes. Thank you. Number 9, I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And the last memory verse, if ye be Christ's, then ye are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. All right. That is the last question on round number 8. We move on to round number 9. Christadelphian facts. So, as an example, if I was to say, who is the author of Elpis Israel? Your answer would be John Thomas. All ready? Oops. That didn't mean to happen. Okay, who was not an editor of the Christadelphian Tidings magazine? Dave Jennings, Bob Lloyd, Ken Somerville, or Don Stiles? How many years was Great Lakes Christadelphian Bible School held in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin? Takes a variety of skill sets to answer these questions. What was the name of the Christadelphian magazine prior to the adoption of the name Christadelphian? In which place did John Thomas not live? Ontario, New York, Illinois, or Virginia? What was Robert Roberts' occupation? Before editor. That's before he became a full-time editor. Okay, which of these residence halls was at Lakeland? Kruger, Nelson, Lathrop, Hellman. Just one right answer. What 2 years was GLCBS canceled? Need both years right to get the answer right. Number 8, which book was written by Brother Islip Collier? Temple of Ezekiel's Prophecy, Eureka, Principles in Proverbs, or Christendom Astray? Oh, not astray, astray again. Which continent has the most Christadelphians? And the last one I threw in here just for a few very keen people. Who was not a speaker at the 1960 Western Christadelphian Bible School? A.D. Norris, H.P. Mansfield, Harry Whitaker, or Maury Wubbles? All right, time's up. Exchange your final sheets. Well, not your final, but your last three. You need to keep your last sheet. Everyone's exchanged sheets. We'll go through the answers. Start with the picture round. This was a Gutenberg Bible. This is in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. This was the hall at the Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, when GLCBS was held there. If any of you remember, back to the 1990s. The cylinder is in the British Museum. What's that? This is the Church of the Blessed Hope in Chesterland, Ohio. Picture A is not at Manuka. It's near Manuka, but it's not at Manuka. This is Brother Harry Whitaker. That is the prism is ascribed to Sennacherib. The middle picture is John Thomas. So the other two, if you're interested, A is Robert Roberts and C is Thomas Williams. That is at Idlewild. I threw that in there for all the Californians here. And that is Hezekiah's Tunnel. Quickly going through memory verses. John 3:16. Genesis 2 verse 7. 1 Corinthians 13:13. Acts 1, verse 11. Jeremiah 17:9. Numbers 14:21. John 17:3. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 5. Genesis 12, verse 3. Galatians 3:29. Moving on to Christadelphian facts. Ken Somerville was not an editor. He was the chair of the Tidings Committee, but not an editor of the magazine. 2 years GLCBS was at Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Christadelphian magazine was named the Ambassador of the Coming Age. John Thomas did not live in Ontario. He did live in New York, Illinois, and Virginia. Robert Roberts was a reporter. Kruger was a dorm at or a residence at Lakeland. According to the GLCBS website, it was 2 years.
My mom was pregnant with Joshua in 1990 we were there. My grandpa died in 92 when we were there. It would be 3 years.
Dan said it was 3.
I can check. I took it off the website, so I'll look at check the website. Oop. I don't know why I just exited out. Let me get back. We can double check that, and I can give people a.
Triple points the last round.
We'll see. Let's get back on track. I'm not sure how I exited out of here, but I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I can start it again. Sorry about that. I don't know why it exited out. Okay. We'll have to track check that one. If you get one more point, if you're 1 point away from a win. So Ambassador of Coming Age, Ontario, reporter, Kruger. It was canceled 20 and 21, 2 years for COVID. Islip Collier wrote Principles and Proverbs. Africa has the most Christadelphians. And A.D. Norris was not there in 1960. If you want to know, he was actually there in 1959. All right. One last round. Get your score sheets up to the scores. We have one last round. Okay, so I think all the sheets are back to Nicholas and Nicholas. Again, we have one last round, and this round is a Bible list. So it's actually 12. You got, if you see your score sheet, you have 12 spots, so you can actually get 12 points on this round. And you think a list of 12 in the Bible. 12 disciples, 12 tribes of Israel. Seems a little easy to me. So you might have been wondering why I had Revelation chapter 21 read for you. So round number 10 lists the 12 foundation stones noted in Revelation 21. You just heard them 45 minutes ago. Go. It doesn't matter. I will accept the either versions. You have one more minute. All right, time's up. Exchange your sheets. All right, has everyone exchanged sheets? So I did look up about 4 or 5 different translations, so I think there's only a few alternate stones here. But here is what I have. Jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardonyx, sardius, also called carnelian, chrysolite, beryl, topaz, chrysoprasus, or also called chrysoprase, jacinth, and amethyst. Take you a little while to go through and check them, score them up, and hand them back. In the meanwhile, you see, oh, the scores are back down, but Judah was ahead with Levi in second. There we go, Judah. Oh, leave it up there, I guess. Judah's 75, Levi's at 69, just behind them. And Joseph, 65, not too far back.
That list would have to be the right same order.
Yep. So once you have it, put the score at the bottom and hand them back. And hopefully they can add them up quickly. Is everyone done scoring? No? Okay, is everyone done? All right. So, you need 3 more. So send them back. Should be 3 more. There they come. And then Nicholas and Nicholas will put up the final scores. The best you could do is 102. I'd say anything over 80 is amazing. 70 is still pretty spectacular. And anyone over 50, I think most people are over 50, is still pretty good scholarship, I think. So final. Oh! So I would ask that the tribe of Judah come forward and pick up your certificates. The Ultimate GLCB Quiz Night 2025 champions for your incredible teamwork, exemplary knowledge, keen recall, and overall stellar performance, suitable for framing to make all of your friends and neighbors jealous. Thank you all for your participation.